Okay, so the thing that I love about Empower Groups is that it's all about education. And that is the thing that kind of stands out for me with Young Living. But the beautiful thing is, you don't have to come up with all this education yourself. So you don't have to spend a lot of your time pulling in research or content, and you get to do what I love to call people work. Okay, you just get to take care of your people, which is the heart and soul of your business and what will make or break you in the end. And so we talked about how the first part of your time with Empower Groups needs to be inviting. The second commitment that you make, like the second thing that you really invest in, is engagement. And if you will invite, and then engage, you're going to find great success with your Empower Groups. And you don't have to spin your wheels doing research or making posts or coming up with content. You really get to focus your time on your people, which is going to make them feel so special and is going to really create such loyalty and connection with you, which is how you get long-term members. Okay. And so you kind of get to do the making friends part. So during the Empower Group month, the 30 days, your main job and the job of any of your, like, if you're doing, like, you're linking arms with some other leaders, then they need to be doing this with you. And that is, you need to be engaging all of your participants from the very beginning. Now, we've created posts that we are going to try to work to help create engagement for you. We have some polls, we have questions on every single post for you to get people thinking and answering questions. But we know that that doesn't always work. And sometimes it just feels like it's just the crickets, right? And so you've got to be ready to battle that. So here are a few tips of how to get engagement in your Empower Groups. First of all is, don't procrastinate. Okay, within the first couple of days, make sure that you are engaging with every single member of your Empower Group somehow. The first way to do that is to ask them direct questions right there in the posts. Okay, so you are, of course, scheduling the posts out. They're going to pop up. Well, you go in and answer the question for yourself, and then tag a couple of the people in your group and ask them a question that relates. Okay, pull them in that way. And then sometimes you can even ask them to tag a friend and do the same, right? And so you start pulling them into the content. You're going to make them comfortable with being there. You're going to make them see that engaging on the post is just like what we do in the Empower Groups, and trying to pull them out of the lurking. Now, don't get too frustrated if you tend to have some of the people who only lurk. I believe lurkers are still learners. Okay. That doesn't mean that they won't pop up in 30 days and say, I want that starter kit, just because they haven't talked. So don't let that become discouragement to you, but you do need to make it your focus to get them as engaged as possible. So make sure that you're asking those questions, make sure that you are tagging the people, and then you're creating a conversation. One of the things that I teach my business builders, and I truly believe, is the more conversations you can make, the more successful you will be. So within Empower Group, the more conversations you can have with the people that you bring into that group, even within the comments or in personal messages, the more conversations you start, the more successful the group will be for you. Okay. So have those conversations. One of the things that I also like to do is, I told you there's this beautiful thing about how we can partner with other people and get them to invite friends in. Well, you might not be Facebook friends with those participants who've been added to the group. Go friend those people too. That's going to do a couple of things. That's going to allow them to more easily see your posts when you come up, because Facebook likes to show, those things, those relationships. But it's also going to help you connect with them. So even if you don't end up being their enroller, you're still going to make a connection, make a relationship, so that they will want to be part of your overall team. So that's another way to continue to engage. You're going to get to know a little bit about their life outside of the group. They're going to get to know a little bit about your life outside of the group, and that's going to help that connection. You also can take the comment, what's happening in the group, to personal messages, because really that's where the nitty gritty happens with the business, right? So let's say we did a post about brain health for kids, which, by the way, that's in your content, right? And you know that you have a mama friend who's in the group whose child is struggling with ADHD at school. Okay, well, when that post comes up, definitely go in and send a personal message to Susan and say, hey, Susan, I wanted to make sure you didn't miss this post because I thought it would be great for your son. So anytime you can make a connection, remind them, hey, something's going over, over here in this group, something's going on. I want you to be a part of it. Make that connection with them. And they, again, are going to feel more comfortable with coming back in to that group. It then becomes a destination. So Facebook is passive, right? We don't use Facebook actively. We use it passively. And what I mean is, even if you're in groups, what you're doing is you're scrolling your timeline and maybe some of the posts in that group come up. Maybe not. You don't really go looking for it. You're just scrolling, right? Well, what we want is we want to make our Empower groups so engaging that people are like, ooh, let me go check out what's happening in that Empower group today. And they go to the group itself. Okay. That's how engaging you want it to be bringing them back there all the time. And then the last thing that you can do, which is I want to say is a great idea, but don't let this take the place of those relationship building tips. Okay. But that is add some giveaways, add some incentives to encourage participation. Midway through your first week, drop in and say, hey guys, I hope you haven't missed the first few posts. Let me put them in order for you in this post. I like to make a table of contents. My people love that because it's super easy to find everything that they've missed. Make sure you've called up on all the posts by Sunday, and I'm going to send you a sample of my favorite cleaning product, Thieves Cleaner. Okay. Or I'm going to pick a winner to get a sample, or however you want to do it. Okay. I gave away diffuser bracelets. I gave away, lip balm from Young Living. Whatever you have, don't make this outside of your budget. Whatever you have, just use it as a little way to entice them to kind of create a time, urgency for them reading through and commenting on your posts. So don't forget that that's a great way to add a little incentive to get them engaged on top of all the relationship building that you're going to be doing throughout the 30 days.
Another method is to continue to talk about your Empower groups outside of the group. So continue to talk about it on your Insta stories, because chances are, first of all, you have somebody who missed the opportunity because, like we talked about, algorithms are not in our favor. People do miss things. People don't always see everything we post. And no matter how often we invite, you just might miss somebody who wants to see it. So continue to talk about it. One thing I like to do is maybe share like a little screenshot of a little something and put it in my Insta stories. I'm not going to like give the content in my Insta stories, or maybe a little tidbit. And I'll say, man, this is so much fun talking with my friends about all these tips. I'm learning a ton along with them. Or I'll tell a story about, I can't believe that, my friend just discovered the source of her headache all these years was because of the candles she'd been burning. And nobody ever told her that, but she figured it out because she came to our group about toxin-free living. And how fun is that? So share your wins, just share that you're doing this with your Insta stories, with your social media. Just kind of filter it into your sharing, because not only is it going to hit people who maybe aren't part of the group that want to be part of maybe your next round or that current round, but it also could be a reminder to the people in your group who haven't checked in a while, because chances are you're friends with them in other areas of social media, and they'll see it and they'll think, oh, I need to get back over there. And I totally missed that. I want to go back and learn that. So making sure that you're not just engaging within the group, but outside the group as well. Like April mentioned, we can do midweek or midway check-ins, polls. If you feel like things have kind of gotten a little dead or you've lost a few people love polls, and Facebook makes them so easy. All you have to do is like ask the question and offer in some suggested responses, and people just like to click them, whether they even care about the topic or not. People love GIFs and memes. So give them an opportunity to do a show me a GIF for, how great your day's been so far or something. It doesn't have to be that big of a deal, but it will create engagement. People love to drop their favorite GIFs into a post. So do those little engagement add-ins, and we'll come up with a little list for you guys. We've got a little list in our content of I've suggested things, but y'all are creative too. Use what works for you. And then also, guys, the point of this is to enroll new members, right? And to help our budding builders enroll new members. And so we do have posts about each Young Living bundle. Our starter kits are now shifting into the terminology of bundles. And so we want to make sure that we are maximizing the exposure of those bundles because they're money savers, bottom line. No matter how somebody enters into Young Living, if they just want to enter in with a bottle of lavender, that's great. But they're also missing out on this crazy huge deal with that oils kit that's worth over $400 for $165, right? So you want to make sure they know about it. I actually had someone call me today. She was a referral. Y'all, this really never happens. I hardly ever get a referral from another friend, but my friend had her friend call me. She wanted a bottle of Thieves cleaner, she wanted toothpaste, and she wanted some other Thieves product, Thieves oil. And so she sent me the list of what she wanted. And I said, hey, did you know that we have this bundle too? And she said, oh my goodness, I was going to spend $114 on these 3 products, but that's $125. And she was so excited and so thankful that I told her. So we can't forget to give opportunities for purchasing. I feel like it's so often we'll present this education, we'll make sure we give people all the education about all the things, and then we kind of shrink back and don't ask for the sale. And so it's very important to ask for the sale. And you can use these anyway. We've given you the posts. They're in your content. They're about each kit or each bundle. And you can maybe do one weekly, or you can send them in private messages to people and just say, hey, I noticed that you were really interested in the Thieves products. Here's some information about our Thieves bundle. Or, hey, I noticed that nutrition was really important to you. You might want to check out Ningxia Red. Here's some information about our Ningxia Red bundle. So use those in a way that's going to help you close the sale with people, and not just in a let me post it up and hope something happens way, but use it strategically and think about the people in your group. And like April said, when you have a conversation going, you find out what people's needs are. And when you understand their needs, you're going to be able to match them with the right bundle, with the right products, and enroll them in a way that's going to make them customers who are invested in the lifestyle, not just somebody who buys a kit off of you or a bundle off of you. So be sure to close and offer those opportunities to make a purchase. So we just want to encourage you to do lots of engagement. The secrets to success with these Empower groups are inviting and engaging. And we'll talk in our next video about follow-up. So we'll see you there in just a minute.